All right, I'm Joe Silva. I own Ideal Payroll Service. I also host the Ideal Small Biz Podcast, and we are supporting local. So supporting local businesses by learning more about them and how we can use their services here in the area. And today I'm joined by Ralph Williams. Ralph is with Cruise Planners. Ralph, thanks for being on with us today.
Hey, Joe, glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Looks beautiful. I love your background. We'll talk about how you can get people there and things like that here in a moment. So why don't you tell us about your business, what it is you do, and who you serve?
Joe, we're travel advisors. One time in the past, we would have been called travel agents. That's kind of a obsolete term these days. We help people plan vacations, specifically where we work with cruises, both ocean and river, and all-inclusive resorts, and guided tours and fully independent travel.
Nice. Obviously, a different world of travel these days, but in our previous conversations here, getting a lot of excitement for bookings into the future and into next year. So maybe touch on that, Ralph. Who specifically do you like to help? Is there a certain group of people, or is it anybody? Things like that. Tell us a little bit more about in depth as to what you do.
Well, our clientele are pretty much a pretty good bell curve. On one side would be millennials. At the top of the curve would be baby boomers, and then down the other side would be older adults. So we really specialize in European river cruises and U.S. river cruises, and that's usually a baby boomer type demographic.
Cool. Perfect. How long have you had the franchise, Ralph? How long have you been in travel with Cruise Planners?
We opened up in January of 2005. So this is completing our 15th year this year.
Well, that's incredible. Congrats.
We've been around a while.
Yeah, seen a lot going on in those 15 years. In any business, Ralph, yours is kind of a fun business compared to, somebody like me in the payroll world, right? That's pretty boring stuff, but you're in travel. So that's exciting. But we all have our reasons as to why we get up in the morning and do what we do. Why travel? Why did you, I know your background, you've got an extensive background in a lot of different areas, but why did you pick travel when you went this direction 15 years ago?
Well, we wanted to sell something that the people actually wanted to buy. And that's travel. I like to say that, it was 15 years ago, it was New Year's Eve, and it seemed like a good idea at the time. But Laura, my wife, and I did quite a bit of research. We wanted a business where we could work together, where we could work from home with very little overhead, and generally not have employees. And we pretty well stuck to that model. We have just an awesome associate in Megan that we dearly love, and she does a great job. But we looked at a lot of different opportunities. We both like to travel. I've traveled all over the world, and I took Laura on her first cruise, back in the early days. She liked that. I love it. So we decided to get into the travel business. We researched, settled on Cruise Planners as a franchise. And it's been a great relationship for over 15 years now.
That's great. Yeah, you do something you love, and the people want to buy it. That makes your life even that much better and easier. Through the options out there, obviously in that 15 years, you've seen things change, especially online and things like that, Ralph. So maybe touch on what's the advantage of listeners and viewers using you as a travel resource or travel kind of concierge versus booking it on one of those big, random nameless sites that are on the internet.
Well, I'd like to say call 1-800-INTERNET and see who answers. We have experience. Like I said, we specialize in river cruises. We personally have done 14. And I've kind of lost count of the ocean cruises we've done. We do at least 2 or 3 a year, so times 15, whatever that number is. And so we're experienced. We actually answer our phone, and regardless of what time of day or night it is. And if you run into a problem, we've probably seen that problem and we know what the solutions are. And we really specialize in our suppliers. so that we have great volume with our suppliers, and I have access to phone numbers that the typical travel person might not have because of our volumes. So, what we've just been through with COVID, if you book direct with a cruise line or direct with an online travel agency, like, well, we won't name them, but if you have a problem, good luck. The wait times to get through some of the cruise lines was 3 and 4 hours. Refunds have been really slowly processing. All of our clients that have had cancellations have gotten their refunds a long time ago. And again, we have phone numbers. We know who we can call and get through and get solutions. And we've done that repeatedly through this whole thing this year. But we do that a lot. You get phone calls and say, "Hey, Ralph, my flight's being delayed. I'm not going to make the connection. What do I do?" And that call comes at 3:00 in the morning, and we can say, "Okay, do this, do this, do this, and call me back if it doesn't work." So we're here for you.
That means a lot. And, again, when you're traveling, you want to travel, right? You want to enjoy your time. And so worrying about all those other things, leave it to Ralph and Laura. And yeah, that's the way to do it for sure. Ralph, with everything going on, what are you seeing as maybe a hot spot next year? Or, is there any particular, cruises coming back? Give us maybe a quick 2-minute rundown of what you expect for the future of travel.
Yeah, sure. Our bookings for 2021 are really, really robust. It's going to be a great year. But again, European river cruises, U.S. river cruises are really, really, really popular. The larger ship ocean cruises are going to be slower to come back. We specialize in smaller ship cruises under 1,000 passengers. Those will come back first. Mexico is open for all-inclusive resorts. Right now, many of the Caribbean islands for both cruises and all-inclusive resorts are open. National parks in the United States have been really popular this year too. We've had 4 trips canceled this year. This is the longest I haven't traveled in about 25 years.
Wow.
We're getting pretty antsy. So we're just going to take a road trip. Laura and I are going to go to the Black Hills next month. And just because we need to get out of town and do something.
Nice.
So lots of good opportunities coming next year, especially spring break time, winter vacations, which all of that was missed by most people this past year. And it's booking really, really rapid.
That's great. So if you have that itch, if you're watching this and want to explore options, Ralph can direct you there and make sure that you can get the travel in that you need and that you want in a reasonable and safe time. Ralph, can you help anybody around the country, or is this, are you geographically limited to Omaha, or who do you like to help, or what's your area that you like to help?
Well, I have clients in 48 states. The bulk of our clients are here in Nebraska, Iowa, but we have clients around the country, and those are mostly referrals. We don't necessarily market in Florida, but we have a number of Florida clients. The same thing in Maine, Washington, California. So we can go anywhere and do anything, take anybody anywhere they want to go from anywhere they live.
Nice. So anybody watching this, if you need direct assistance, Ralph can help. So what's the best way for others to reach you, Ralph, and make contact and get their questions answered by you?
Phone or email, or you can go to our website and you can communicate through the website to us. The website is cruiseplannersomaha.com. And you'll find contact information on that website.
Perfect. So if you're watching this or listening to this, let's support local. Ralph is in the community and does a lot in the Omaha area, and obviously with clients everywhere. So let's support him and his business, his locally owned business. So, if you want to not stay local and travel, but support local through cruise planners, then reach out to Ralph. That's the best way to do it. So Ralph, thank you for being on here and sharing your story.
Hey, Joe, glad to be here. And hey, we can send you over to Council Bluffs if you want.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Thanks, Ralph.
Thanks, Joe.